Requisitioner Training 6, Billing Options. In this lesson, we will discuss several billing options available in UShop. After you have the items you want to buy in your cart, click on Proceed to Checkout. You will find the Billing tab on the left-hand side of the page. A green check mark to the right of a tab indicates that the system considers this item complete, with no attention required. However, the Billing tab contains options you may want to select. Keep in mind that these options should not be selected when ordering from punch-out catalogs. They are designed only for orders placed on non-catalog forms. When you click on the Billing tab, note that the Bill To address will always default to accounts payable. Suppliers are instructed to send invoices to accounts payable because payments are triggered by an invoice. When invoices are sent directly to accounts payable in UShop, they can be viewed under the PO's Invoice tab. To look at the billing options, click on the Edit link to the right of Billing Options. The accounting date will default to the date on which you place the order. This is appropriate for most orders. If you need to select a date during a different open accounting period, you may do it here by using the calendar link or simply typing the date in the field provided. Accounting periods are open for expenditures for the current month and for 4 months in the future. Before we discuss the next option, Hold for Invoice Approval, let's go over a little background. Invoices are submitted to accounts payable to be paid against specific purchase orders. Accounts payable will pay an invoice against a PO without contacting the department as long as it totals less than $50,000. If an invoice totals $50,000 or more, accounts payable will require a department approval before the invoice will be paid. This invoice approval must be provided by an individual with GFA, or Grant Financial Authority, on the activity or project being used for that order. Hold for Invoice Approval is a billing option that requires approval of an invoice by an appropriate individual with GFA before payment, regardless of the dollar amount. It allows the user time to review and approve an invoice before it is paid. Hold for Invoice Approval may be selected by checking the box to the right of this option. It is important to understand that this option places responsibility on the department because payment cannot be made until the invoice is approved. The option is to be selected per order and should be used with great discretion. The next option is Handling Code Override. Click to open the drop-down menu. The drop-down menu displays several accounting codes which are available but not commonly used. Selecting one of these options sends a message to accounts payable to modify the handling of this payment. Just click on the initials to select an option. FO for foreign mail, HP, hold for pickup, HS, hold for pickup with stuffer, SH, special handling, ST for stuffer. This refers to a stuffer provided by the user to be sent with the payment to the supplier. US for US mail. WT for wire transfer. Please note that the wire transfer form must also be completed and sent to the address provided on that form. Click to open the drop-down menu to the right of Separate Payment Override. Supplier payments usually include the payment of multiple invoices on a single check. If you have a business reason for having a check issued to include your invoice only, you may select Y for Yes from this drop-down menu. To add a message to the supplier, which will appear on the check, type the message in this field. Be aware that this message will be seen only if the supplier receives a hard copy check in the mail, not on direct deposits or single-use account payments. If this option is selected, you should also select Separate Payment Override. Accounts payable has a default tolerance level when matching the dollar amount of a purchase order to an invoice. This tolerance level comes into play to pay for slight discrepancies in cost, added shipping fees, etc. This is generally seen as an advantage to allow invoices to be paid in a timely fashion. However, you may have orders for which you have agreed with the supplier on a very specific price. In this case, you may want to select the Exact PO to Invoice Match option by checking the box to the right of that option. If you select this, accounts payable will not pay an invoice that is even 1 penny over the amount of the purchase order without contacting the department. Again, this option is selected per order and should be used with great discretion. The final billing option is Prevent Automatic PO Distribution. Check box to manually distribute PO. This refers to the fact that UShop will automatically send or distribute a purchase order to the supplier, as long as there is a valid supplier email address or fax number in the system. If you have a business reason why you do not want the supplier to receive the PO, you may select this option. After you have completed your selections, click Save. Your selection of each of these options is indicated by a green check or a stated value, rather than the red X or no value, which indicate the default remains in place.